Which of the following is or are the directives outside part 4 of the Constitution? That is, from among these 4 options, outside part 4 means, so what is part 4? Directive Principle of State Policy. So which of the 4 directives are outside the DPSP is asked here. To protect monuments of historic interest, to provide adequate facilities for instruction in the mother tongue at a primary stage of education, to promote the spread of Hindi language, to maintain just and honorable relations between nations. So the answer is the quotes below. See, to protect the monuments and places of historic interest comes under Article 49. It is a part of Part 4 of the Constitution. It is a DPSP. And to maintain just and human relations, to maintain just and honorable relation between nations, that comes under Article 51. That is also a part of DPSP only. The remaining 2, that is to provide adequate facilities for instruction in mother tongue or to promote the spread of Hindi language, is not a part of Directive Principle of State Policy, but it is a directive. It is also a directive. See, what is actually directive principles means? These are certain kind of guidelines. The Constitution says that to the government or to the state that when you frame laws or when you frame policies, please follow these directives. If you follow this directive, it will be better. It's just a suggestion or a guidelines or principles given by the Constitution. It is not mandatory that the government or the state should take up these guidelines, no. But among part 4, there are certain kind of directives, that is DPSP, and apart from part 4, there are other directives as well. So from these following options, 2 and 3, that is option D is the correct answer to this question. Okay. The original Constitution in 1950 contained 4-fold classification of states and union territories. Which one of the following was the only state or territory under Part D of such classification? New Delhi, Chandigarh, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Lakshadweep, Minicoy and Amindivy Islands. See, when the Constitution came into being, our Constitution was classified into Part A states, Part B states, Part C states as well as Part D states. So among that Part D states, there was only one territory, that is Andaman and Nicobar Islands. This was the only territory under the Part D category of such states. Okay. Consider the following pairs regarding the laws of citizenship: renunciation, termination, deprivation. Which of the pairs given up is or are not correct? We have to find the not correct one. So what is actually renunciation? It is nothing but we voluntarily giving up our citizenship. Renunciation means we voluntarily give our citizenship. So one is a correct statement. Regarding termination, see, termination means nothing but when an Indian citizen acquires the citizenship of a foreign country, then our citizenship will be automatically terminated. That is what I mean by termination. Deprivation means the compulsory termination of the citizenship by the central government. So here the statements are interchanged. The answer to termination is given for deprivation and the statement for deprivation is given for termination. So 2 and 3 are interchanged here. 2 and 3 are wrongly given there. Okay. So since we have to find the non-correct one, our answer becomes 2 and 3. That is, option B should be our answer. Okay. Which among the following comes under the definition of state under Article 12 of the Constitution? See, under Article 12, that is when we learn the fundamental rights topic, Article 12 defines what is a state. So what is a state? The legislative as well as executive organ of center, nothing but the parliament as well as state ministry, central ministry, legislature as well as executive organ of the state, then local authorities, that is regarding panchayats, municipalities, district boards, so and so, and other authorities. Okay, and among that, which among these following options comes under definition of state is asked here. Administration of Ladakh, Legislative Council of Karnataka, High Court of Delhi in administrative capacity, Indian Railways, Life Insurance Corporation of India, private body working for a state. See, even a private body, see, bodies or organizations or agency working for a state also comes under the definition of a state. And even a private body working for a state also comes under the definition of a state. This was given by a Supreme Court verdict. Supreme Court said that even a private body working for a state also comes under the definition of a state, thereby broadening the definition of Article 12 by various Supreme Court verdicts. And from these all options, all these things comes under the definition of a state. So answer becomes option D. And please one more thing. The judiciary under judicial capacity does not comes under the definition of a state. That is Supreme Court or High Court or any judicial body under judicial capacity. That is when they are performing judicial functions, they does not comes under the definition of a state. But when they perform administrative functions, they comes under the definition of a state. That difference you please note down. That's why option 3 is marked here. High Court of Delhi in administrative capacity. High Court of Delhi under judicial capacity does not come under the definition of a state. By High Court of Delhi in administrative capacity comes under the definition of a state. Please note down that difference here. So all those options comes under the definition of state under Article 12 of the Constitution. Answer is option D. Indian Constitution avoids the tight mold of federalism and could be both unitary as well as federal according to the requirements of time and circumstances. These are words given by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Ivor Jennings, Jawaharlal Nehru, Granville Austin. See, these are words given by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, because he said that in our constitution there are various unitary features and there are various federal features. See, just example, when normally India follow a kind of federal principle, but see, when national emergency is declared, even without a formal amendment to the constitution, our country becomes unitary. Why? Because at that time the center holds all the power. So depending upon the circumstances, our country is unitary and sometimes it is federal. That is what the meaning of this statement, and these are given by the person called Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Answer is option A. The term referendum in democracy refers to proposed legislation is referred to the electorate. People can propose a bill to the legislature. Voter can remove the elected representative before the term. Getting people's opinion on any issue of public importance. What is referendum in a democracy? See, normally these principles are available in a country having direct democracy. In India we have indirect democracy. Indirect means we choose our representative and they run the government and they took all those decisions. People have no role further there. But in case of direct democracy, people have a large number of roles even in case of legislation. See, there is a concept called initiative. Initiative. Through that, people can propose a bill to the legislature. People can propose a bill to the legislature. That is not available in India. Why? Because in India we follow indirect democracy. So referendum means a proposed bill. As a proposed legislation is referred to the electorate. That means first of all legislature passes a bill and it is sent to the people of that country or the electorate of that country and asks the people or the voters to vote for that bill. Is it possible in India? No. Is it available in India? No. Why? Because in India we follow indirect democracy. That is what I mean by referendum. Once a legislature proposes a bill, made a bill, and it is then sent to the electorate to vote. Then people vote for that bill. If it passes the required majority, the bill is passed. If it does not get the required majority, the bill fails at that time. That is what we mean by referendum. That is proposed legislation is referred to the electorate. What is option B? People can propose a bill to the legislature. That is what we mean by initiative. Then voters can remove the elected representatives before the term. That is what we call recall. To recall a device, the people can remove their elected representatives from the office even before their term. That is not available in Indian context currently. So getting people's opinion on any issue on public importance. That is what we mean by plebiscite. PLEBISCITE. That is, for a matter of national importance, the government gets the opinion of the public. That's what I mean by plebiscite. So referendum means option A, that is, proposed legislation is referred to the electorate.